Please give a big hand to the conference community. Okay?
That research experience profoundly shaped the way I understand government, public leadership. On the clearest lesson from our research was very simple.
About 141 years ago. The sixth surprise would be the internet. Access to a huge amount of data. The new encyclopedia. The internet was developed from the 1960s to the 1990s.
Developing the solutions with communities and supporting innovation and entrepreneurships, and also preparing the next generation for researchers and leaders of this country.
Committee and the University of Hargeysa, I warmly welcome all of you and encourage you to participate actively, ask questions, build new connections, and above all, use these 2 days to identify opportunities for meaningful collaboration.
At Telesom Group, research and innovation are important part of our work through our research and innovation division.
magaalada Hargeysa maanta waxaa ka dhacay shir ay soo qaban qaabisay Jaamacadda Hargeysa shirkaas oo ahaa Shirweynaha koobaad ee Cilmi-baadhista ee Jaamacadda Hargeysa waxaana ka soo qayb galay in ka badan 115 cilmi baadhe oo ka kala socday wadamo kala duwan sidoo kale waxaa ka soo qayb galay qaar ka mid ah wasiirada Soomaaliland iyo gudoomiyaha guud ee Jaamacadda Hargeysa Maxamed Axmed Sulub shirkan ayaa waxa lagu soo bandhigay daraasado kala duwan oo lagu sameeyay qaybo kala duwan oo nolosha
When we focus on school-age children, we have another challenge, and that is that several studies have found that anemia impacts on the development, cognitive and motor development function of school-age children. And these studies mainly from other countries of Eastern Africa, and also some in West Africa, show that, and this is related to malaria, this is because I'm a malaria researcher, but anyway, that malaria in asymptomatic school-age children with lower in those, the condition and they scored lower compared to those that were uninfected, but also that reduced anemia, and that could be by malaria prevalence measures, could also be against worm infections, improved motor and cognitive function. And last but not least, iron deficiency anemia was associated with lower cognitive scores among adolescents. So this is sort of the evidence that there's a relationship between anemia and also development of motor and cognitive development.
I was co-authored evaluating international efforts on local capacity building led by University of Bristol, which examined experiences in Bosnia, Ethiopia, Kosovo, Serbia, Somaliland, and Somalia. We subsequently contributed to international capacity building in Western Balkans and the Horn of Africa, lessons on coherence, coordination, and to the report on best practices in EU local capacity building. That research experience profoundly shaped the way I understand government, public leadership. On the clearest lesson from our research was very simple.
Thank you very much and good morning to all of you. Honorable ministers, President, Vice President of universities, Vice Chancellors of universities, professors, also those who do not wish to be called professors, researchers, scholars, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. I have to say that I'm very honored to be here today at the opening ceremony of this first international research conference of the University of Hargeysa. I am impressed with the breadth and the relevance of the themes chosen to be deliberated here at the conference. I am hugely in awe of the number of participants that will, I hope, enrich the deliberations that are going to be had. And I have to say I'm also completely impressed with the organization of this conference. So a young person, I think, would say a huge shout out to University of Hargeysa.
Today, begins here together with our official opening ceremony. Following the opening, we'll remain together for our first grand panel discussion on the role of higher education institutions in driving national development through research. Following the grand panel, we'll have lunch and a prayer break, and the poster viewing, after which the conference will move to 3 parallel halls.
Particularly, the important conversation during this conference concerns the role of higher education institutions in driving national development through research. Universities must increasingly become more than institutions to teach and award degrees. They must become engines of the knowledge, innovation, and national transformation regarding the evidence for policymakers, developing the solutions with communities and supporting innovation and entrepreneurships, and also preparing the next generation for researchers and leaders of this country.
The theme of this conference, Transformative Research for Sustainable Development, Global Innovations and Local Solutions, is both important and timely. Today, our community faces many challenges, but we also have many opportunities on the other hand. Research helps us to understand these challenges, while innovation helps us turn ideas into practical solutions. We believe that the real progress happens when global knowledge is connected with the local experience, local priorities, and local needs.
Please give a big hand to the conference community. Okay? Why I say so? I attended numerous conferences as a keynote speaker, as presenters, but I never see such a huge crowd as today. Okay? And it's quite a surprise to me when I know that some ministers are also here. Okay? And also, the conference have numerous sponsors from the private sectors. It shows that, okay, University of Hargeysa is a well-known university, can create attention from ministers and also industry practitioners to come to this workshop. Please give hand to the conference community.
I am a professor of mechanization, and I know you can't do it alone. You have to move with the others. If you look at this country, there is a lot to do with livestock production. The question we ask ourselves, do we export live cows? Or do we have slaughterhouses? Or do we have abattoirs? Remember, the slaughterhouses, you just slaughter a cow and take it to the butcher. The abattoirs is value addition. You slaughter, you package. Bones, you can turn it into animal feed. Then you can package, do value addition, and export these products as finished with an increased shelf life. Are we moving in that direction? Or are we just producing raw materials for others to process and gain from our sweat?
Bringing together, as was said, over 44 partner institutions across 17 countries in Africa, in Asia, and in Europe. This gathering is a direct reflection to our institutions' overarching vision of becoming a leading center of high-quality research, innovation, and community service in the Horn of Africa and beyond. Our university has undergone significant strategic transformation, intentionally evolving from just being a teaching-centered institution to being a research-driven, community-anchored university. Through the recent expansion of our Directorate of Research, Grants, and Community Service, we have institutionalized the internal grant funding. We have also strengthened specialized research capacity and launched critical postgraduate programs in key disciplines like public health and climate change. We have, as I said, organized a national research conference which was based on Somaliland national development. We have published over 121 peer-reviewed research publications in the last year, and we are envisioning to publish 396 peer-reviewed publications this year too.
The second surprise is the smartphone. A handheld device that's a telephone, a camera, a TV, a radio, a library, a map, a music album, and a bank, all in one. The development of the smartphone is recent. It goes back to 1992 by IBM. Apple introduced the touchscreen in 2007. So these are the things that you will find quite surprising. The third surprise is telecommunication. The ability to talk and see at the same time someone who is on another continent. The telephone the telephone was invented in 1876, 150 years ago. So 50 years after he passed away. The fourth surprise was the glow of cities illuminated by night. The incandescent bulb was invented in 1879. So he didn't live to see it. The fifth surprise is the cars and the highways. Sleek, fast, comfortable, self-driving, nothing like the carriage that he used to. The automobile was invented around 1885.
Transformative research is not only innovative, but it has also a high potential magnitude of change and impact. For Somaliland, transformative research means conducting research that responds to our real development priorities that includes, but are not limited to, improving maternal and child health, strengthening education, addressing climate change and drought, improving agricultural and livestock systems, promoting economic transformation, strengthening governance and peace and development, the skills and human capital needed for the future.